A narrow sliver of coral and sand stares out at the endless horizon. At some point, people from a far land risked everything to travel here. It doesn't look like there's much, but people saw gold in those trees of palm, something worth staying for. Before nautical charts, you wouldn't even know it was a series of islands in an ovular shape forming an atoll. No tide tables, no weather forecasts, no knowledge of the coral heads hiding just beneath the surface. For some reason or another, people made this journey by sail, and now so have we. Join us, Kate, Curtis, and Roxy the dog, as we explore one of the most remote islands in the world. And be sure to stick around, because by the end you might find yourself dreaming of a life far from the noise. And next time, we'll reveal a story that changed this island's future forever. We're heading to shore for check-in. The island seems frozen in time. Barefoot kids laugh nearby as adults scroll through their phones at the government building's Wi-Fi hotspot. Here, tradition and technology quietly coexist, one not quite overtaking the other.
All right, welcome to Likiep Island. We are going to go find the mayor and pay our little fee to check in and explore the island a little bit. So come join us. Let's go check it out.
After a quick friendly meet and greet with the acting mayor, who we did not film, the fee collector Vera showed us around town and pointed out a surprisingly old gravesite said to be where the first European settlers of Likiep are buried. We'll return to that story in a later episode, but first, a bit of local magic. A short walk down the only road took us to two rocks steeped in Marshallese folklore. Legend says that if a woman chips a piece from one, she'll be blessed with a baby boy. From the other, a girl. We admired them, snapped a photo, and left the rest to legend. We ended our tour at Likiep's primary school, a rare gem here with a water maker and working internet for the school children, as most people on the island don't have connection and collect their water through rain entrapments. Vera told us that there used to be a museum, a hostel, and even a restaurant, but after the pandemic, all that faded away. What's left is the heartbeat, the school, the church, and a shared Wi-Fi signal by the government building. And later in the video, we'll step back into that school in a totally different way. In Marshallese culture, a child's first birthday, known as Kemem, is one of the most important and celebrated milestones in a family's life. It's more than just a birthday party. It's a deep expression of gratitude, resilience, and community. Historically, surviving the first year of life was not guaranteed, so reaching this age is seen as a blessing and a moment to honor both the child and those who helped care for them. Families often host large gatherings with food, music, and traditional dances, where the entire community comes together to celebrate life, love, and shared strength. We were made to feel like honored guests and not just visitors. This was only the beginning of the hospitality we experienced in Likiep.
The airplane just landed, so we're going to check it out. Taking the shortcut from Junior's house back to the airstrip.
While chatting with Vera previously, we met Junior DeBrune, a former mayor and self-appointed ambassador to cruising yachts who make the long journey to this remote place. The small plane is the island's lifeline, but with only limited cargo and high prices, even basic goods become rare luxuries. The locals have even nicknamed it Air Maybe, as problems with the plane and access to resources make its arrival sporadic. The grassy runway right in front of our noses in the middle of the Pacific is something we won't forget.
Well, that was pretty cool. I was really impressed that plane could take off in such a short distance. Pretty neat stuff. But yeah, now everybody's got to get their packages. Everything that got shipped in from Majuro today. It's like Christmas Day here every Saturday, but maybe whenever the plane comes. Let's go see what they got.
Yeah, we're here in Likiep, and it's so cool to be able to be this close to the plane. Usually you're at a giant airport, you only see the inside of the plane, and being right on the runway is a really cool experience. After checking out the plane, we headed back with Junior and hung out at his fishing hut. This cool little spot he built that sits right over the water at high tide. It's shaded, breezy, and perfect for swapping stories, casting a line, or just watching the occasional yacht or supply ship drift by. Junior told us maybe only 7 sailboats have stopped here in the past 5 years. A big supply ship comes every few months, and a smaller one even less often. Well, we've anchored here in Likiep, and we've already made a new friend, Junior DeBroom, and he stopped by today and brought us some fresh snapper and grouper. So we're just gonna fillet those up and hopefully have a good dinner tonight. All right, let's get started. I gave filleting them my best shot, then pan-fried a few of the fillets for dinner. They turned out absolutely scrumptious. Like many Pacific islands, religion is a large part of Marshallese culture. So, the next morning we joined Junior for a Lenten Mass at this beautiful church that was built well over 100 years ago. The seaside themes and beautiful singing in Marshallese made for a serene experience. After church, Roxy needed some playtime. There are too many territorial island dogs in town, so we paddled out to a quiet patch of beach. While we played fetch, a classic island sailboat passed by. Just one of a few still in use by families traveling between the 3 inhabited islands in the atoll. With a little over 200 people in the whole atoll, there are no grocery stores, but there are little shops where you can buy staples. And the best spot is right on the water directly in front of Sweet Ruka. The shop owner, Billy, was a teacher and is the current principal to the school on the island. But in his off time, he opened the M Rose for people to stop by and get a little treat like chips and cookies. On a hot day, Curtis and I decided a cold beverage was in order.
Well, I think for me, I'm gonna have a wild cherry Pepsi. What are you gonna have?
Pepsi. Good choice.
Yeah,
is that weird? Is that lame?
No, that's fine.
Okay, two of those.
Yep. Okay. We'll do something else that's cold.
But these are the only cold ones.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, just a cherry.
Yeah, so that's very close. Do that.
Now I'll do the Pepsi.
Okay.
Okay.
We were just saying how nice the paint looks, and it's my favorite color, so I like it a little extra.
There's 3 and
Yeah, there you go.
Kamotata.
Kamutata.
Appreciate it, feel. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thanks so much.
There's something truly magical about this spot. A gentle breeze, the shade of a big tree, and the view of Sweet Ruka sitting quietly in the distance. We kicked back with a cold, refreshing drink and made a new friend along the way. These are the moments we live for, when time slows down and the world feels still and you get to just breathe and be.
Wow.
Billy invited us to check out the school, so the next day we dropped by to see what it was all about. He was filling in for the 8th grade teacher who was out sick, and we joined him for the afternoon class. No tech, no air conditioning, just the soft ocean breeze drifting through the windows. The students worked on assignments in both Marshallese and English. I kicked things off with a round of Simon Says, and Curtis followed up with a lesson on the parts of a sailboat. He labeled them in English and invited the students to teach us the equivalent in Marshallese, a fantastic interactive experience.
And what do you guys call the right side of the boat? Okay. Here, you come right this way.
We wrapped up the visit with a quick soccer match, and the kids showed off some serious talent, especially impressive for the lack of organized youth programs. The smiles and laughs of the children were ultimately contagious.
Oh, there she goes. Yakwe! There you go.
What?
There you go. Perfect.
What? Future sailors.
Yeah! Junior brought over some of his family to check out the boat. Curtis was showing the kids how winches and halyards work. And we were starting to see a trend, as with each visit he never arrived empty-handed.
Okay. Tell us what we have here, babe.
Well, our new friends and neighbors stopped by and brought us some fruit from the island. Thank you, Junior and TT. We can't wait to dig in.
What's that, Roxy?
You want
Coconuts.
some there?
Some coconuts.
Yeah.
We had so much fruit we weren't sure we'd be able to eat it all before it went bad. So I did the next best thing and combined our two cultures. Apple Crisp, which is similar to a cobbler, was my inspiration for Pandanus Crisp and Rose Apple Crisp. They were sweet, but I'd say a success.
We are headed to the De Broom Plantation House, which is right up here where Kate is headed. And this is where one of the original founders built his house. This dates back to the 1800s. Right now, there's nobody here. I guess people come every once in a while, but it's so far at the end of the island that it doesn't really get a lot of visitors. So let's go check it out. Yakwe, yakwe.
Yakwe is the traditional greeting and farewell in Marshallese and literally translates to "you are a rainbow." It's just another example of the positive spirit and kindness of the Marshallese culture that you get to know once you break through the shy exterior. This remodeled old home sits on the south end of the island by its lonesome. While it's away from town, it sure has a spectacular view. What you got there, Curtis?
This is my spiderweb stick, because as we're walking in these places where people haven't walked in a while, there's spiderwebs that go across. Me, the tall guy, gets them all in my face. So. This is what I'm up to now.
These trees are so spooky. After getting to know the residents, we decided to get to know the terrain and hike the Pacific side of the island. Just us, the sound of waves, and the wind through the palms.
Hello guys. Curtis and I are taking a little walk around Likiep Island, trying to circumnavigate it, but in chunks. And now we're on the Pacific side. We found some old wreckage. So maybe like an engine of some kind and a generator. And now we're gonna go check out this really bizarre looking driftwood up here. It's really fun walking along all the coral, seeing all the shells and little crabs scurrying. But this is what we're doing for our exercise today. And we get to watch the sunset, so a bonus. What's even crazy is one of them said Detroit on it, and we're from Michigan, so who knows, we could find ourselves halfway around the world.
Crankshaft right here. This is the crankshaft right here.
In a world that moves fast, places like this remind us to slow down, to notice, to connect. and to be thankful for the people who share their homes, their stories, and their hearts. Next week, we interview the oldest resident on Likiep Island, surviving World War II and Japanese occupation, as well as the atomic bomb fallout testing done by the United States. The stories we hear changed Likiep forever. You won't want to miss it. Sharing these rare places that most people never travel to depend on you, so give us a like and a share. A special thanks to our patrons for all of your support. And don't forget to click subscribe and come along for the ride. See you next time!